Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link and my official Instagram, both listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy will be from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, and at the end I'll read from the book. The second one will be from the Old Soul Oracle deck from House of Scrying channel, Steph's deck. And for the tarot portion of the Wham Tarot. I think I need to burn some Palo Santo. And just take a moment to kind of welcome Capricorn to the reading. Okay, this is for Capricorn. Decks have been pre-shuffled, that's it. Card came out right away. Autumnus, Autumn, number 19, which is interesting because number 19 corresponds to the Sun card of the major arcana of the tarot. Look at that beautiful energy. It's almost like the sun is setting. Could the sun be setting on something for you right now, Capricorn, that feels like a natural ending? Spirit wants me to say. See all these kind of gold orbs in the tree. And then this jewel in the center. It's like a jewel. I think that there's something that you've been growing that is now coming to kind of harvest. It could be financial, but the outcome feels unexpected. Like these elements don't really, at least to me, they don't really fit together. The silhouette of the tree and then these gold pieces and this jewel, it like doesn't, there's a kind of cognitive dissonance here. Like they don't belong together. It's like something in your life like doesn't belong together, but you've made it work and you've made it fruitful and prosperous. You see how like the tree is it's in silhouette, right? Like it doesn't, it kind of has one, there's no depth. I don't feel any depth to it. It just feels like one flat plane. Whereas the sky behind it feels full of depth and feels full of distance and perspective. The tree itself feels very flat. And I am obsessed and in love with trees. So there's something about that that doesn't sit right with me. I also love autumn, right? And I'm saying I because Spirit uses my frame of reference. That's the only thing that they have to use, right? And so when I feel a kind of dissonance with things that I love, like autumn, like the trees, it's relevant to your reading. Almost as if you've harvested something that you've worked really hard for, but somehow it feels empty. It feels like it's coming up short emotionally. And maybe you don't need it to fulfill you emotionally, but that aspect of your life is starting to creep up a little bit on you. Like, you could be not just making ends meet, but you could be thriving in the material sense, but it feels shallow because Spirit just showed me Lady Gaga and what's his name? Bradley Cooper in that movie that I never watched, but that song Shallow, I think it's called Shallow. Spirit just showed me Lady Gaga and that song. Now, I don't even know if that song, they're just showing me the word and her face. So that song might resonate with you, but it's more about the word. Which is not to say that there's anything that you did wrong or that you're not on a path you should be on. I'm not picking up on that. I'm just saying that there's a dissonance. Something doesn't feel quite right. And it's starting to bother you because it bothers me. Let's get a card from the Old Soul Oracle for Capricorn. Creator of this deck is also Capricorn. So hi, Steph, if you're here. Got number 12. Fish, Neptune, Water, Pisces, the Moon. I pulled it out this direction, but it also can be read in this direction or here, or any which way you want to look at it. I'm going to look at it like this. So I see gates. Immediately I see gates. Well, I see 2 fish up here. One fish, 2 fish. Was that a nursery rhyme? No, it's Dr. Seuss, isn't it? 1 fish, 2 fish. Red fish, blue fish? I don't know. It's terrible because I worked in a bookstore for 8 years. I can't remember. I also don't like Dr. Seuss, but that's neither here nor there. But that book could mean something to you. See, the fact that a Pisces card even came out, a water card, it talks about the unconscious emotions. And this gate wants to open, right? It just like wants to open. It the emotions want to pour out. I see a pair of eyes here, but they almost look comical. Because, okay, well, now I see, I don't know if you can see it. I see the eyes of Scrooge McDuck from the show, well, from Disney, but there was a show back in the 80s, 90s called DuckTales, and it was incredible. I love that cartoon. And I can sing the entire, I will not, but I can sing the entire theme song to that show. But one of the opening scenes in the beginning roll credits, you see Scrooge McDuck jumping into a whole, like, sea of money, basically, sea of coins. And I see Scrooge McDuck's eyes right here. And it's very funny, though, because in the Disney tale, Scrooge McDuck he's Scrooge. He's stingy, and he's angry, and he's bitter and grumpy all the time. But in DuckTales, all he cared about was his money. But in DuckTales, his 3 nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, come to live with him, and it gives him purpose. They drive him nuts, but he loves them. He'd do anything for them. And together they have adventures. they give his life purpose. And he still loves his money, but he loves his nephews a little bit more. And there's something to that, right? Because I read this as like coin or gold or jewels. And so again, it's that theme of material wealth, but also, you know, what are we using our material wealth for? Are we focusing, and I'm not accusing you of anything, it's just the reading that I'm getting. Like, are we focusing on the right things? What are we focusing on, Capricorn? Because once Scrooge had that love in his life, he became a beloved character. Spirit is showing me a bulldog? No, a pit bull. Actually, this situation just happened with a Capricorn I know. Or like a Rottweiler, you know, these dogs that are known, you know, they used to be used for dog fighting, maybe still are, I don't know. A dog is only going to become vicious if you teach it to be vicious. There are plenty of pit bulls out there that are total smushes, would not hurt a fly, super loving because they had loving parents, just like people. And that is coming through. Basically, Spirit right now is just telling you, it's like something needs to appeal to your heart chakra, Capricorn. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future. And at the end, I'll pull a card of advice from Spirit, read from the book. I am only taking uprights in this reading. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay, oh, things look nice here. One more. Oh, okay. You're listening to Spirit. Okay. Well, you're trying to. Okay. You're trying, Capricorn. You're trying. Past energy, Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups, Pisces energy. You can see this kind of damp dandelion flower here. Whoa, I tried to hold that card with my left hand and it literally flipped out of my hand and it flipped into the reverse. And I told you I was only taking uprights in this reading, but Spirit wants me to read this in the reverse, which I have not read a card in reverse in many, many months. Usually this card can represent an offer of love or friendship, can also be an offer of an apology. In the reverse, it's kind of like we're keeping things close. We're not offering very much, or a lot is not being offered to us. I feel like it's from your perspective. There's this sense of generosity that has not been released. Like, you are not in a generous mood, and maybe you have your reasons, and I'm not going to tell you not to have those reasons. I'm not going to say that to you. But in the past energy, I think you had your reasons for maybe blocking somebody, not talking to them, keeping them at arm's length, keeping something at arm's length. Maybe it was something that was too good to be true and you just were very untrusting. 2 of Wands, it could have been like some kind of fork in the road or some kind of spark, some kind of ignition, something you wanted to get off the ground, but it was proving to be, because that ignition, right, trying to rub two sticks together, that's tedious. That's so tedious. And oftentimes when we think about what we're meant for, what's on our path, when it's truly meant for us, the idea anyway is that when we're truly in alignment with something, it's like poof, 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 the doors open. We don't have to exert that much effort. It's not to say that we don't have to put effort in, but like all thrusters are firing, all signs say yes, all lights are green. It's kind of like usually the universe, that's how it operates. And there was something here that just felt like a lot of work. Can I get a clarifier? What was this in the past energy that you were hesitant about or holding back from? A wish fulfillment? 9 of Cups. Ooh. So Spirit just said self-sabotage. There's something that did look too good to be true, and I think you turned it down, or you turned it down in favor of something a little bit more comfortable, more familiar. Yeah, that feels very right. That feels very strong. Like somebody I'm reading for just had an opportunity that was like too good to be true, and you did not pursue it, and that's your prerogative. And maybe you don't know how things turned out with that road, but you didn't take that path, right? Because this sometimes, like I said, could be the fork in the road. It's like you went right because you've always gone right. Left looked like it could have been something, but it was almost like, I don't know, I'm not sure, I've never done that before, and it scares me. It was almost like, you may never know. That's okay. We decide what we decide, and that's part of life. You know, but now Spirit's kind of saying that phrase, which I can't really remember specifically, but it's kind of like, you only miss 100% of the chances you didn't take, or something like that. I don't know if that's the expression, but that's what wanted to come out. So I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it, but this just could be the reality of something that recently happened to you. It's almost like you know that you gave up something that could have been good, and maybe you did it. Why did you do that? Number 11 in this deck, the Strength card, Leo energy. This card represents Kundalini awakening to me. You could have been going through really big changes, and you just didn't have space for anything, like one more changeable thing, and it just would have set you over the edge. You were already having to be strong about something. You were already having to like keep things contained, and one more thing would have just been too much. This is a very nice card, the Strength card. It represents this mastery over the ego. But now Spirit is kind of showing me that, like, it's almost like, I don't really like this message in terms of what it means for you, but it's almost like you gave up, you sacrificed something. So was it sabotage or was it sacrifice? You like gave up something for you in order to serve a higher purpose. I don't know what that purpose is. Maybe it's children. We were talking about Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So maybe it wasn't sabotage. Maybe it was a little bit sabotage. I still feel that. But it also could have been sacrifice too. In the present energy though, quite beautiful. Right? Trying to inject a little bit more emotion into the scenario for Capricorn. We have number 14, beautiful card with Temperance. Sagittarius energy here. The card of Patience. It's crazy because sometimes I look at, like, from afar, this looks like the renderings of like what angels look like in the Bible, like all their eyes, and it's really weird. But as you get closer and closer and closer, you realize that it's a peacock and all the peacock feathers and the wings. So it's kind of morphing back and forth between the peacock and the angels. The Temperance card talks about transmutation and this transformation of one state of being into another state of being. So I always like to reference turning pain into power, transmuting pain and turning it into power. Transmutation is also something I'm constantly transmuting energy as an empath, right? Someone comes to me with problems or worries or anxieties or something, which is crazy because I have anxiety, but maybe this is why. They come to me with that, and it's like I'm a kind of like this filter, and when the energy comes back at that person, I transmute it into something that they can use that elevates, you know, their heart, right? If somebody comes to me and says, I don't know, I'm unsure, I'm not good enough for this, what do you think I'm gonna say? I'm not going to let you walk away from me thinking that you're not good enough for something. I might give it to you straight. I might say, you don't have all the skills you need yet, but do these things and you can have those skills. But because I'm going to be truthful, because Spirit doesn't allow me not to be. But I'm not going to let somebody walk away from me thinking that they're a piece of crap. And so I'm transmuting that energy constantly. I do it constantly. It's exhausting. And maybe you do it too. Maybe that you're finding yourself doing that right now for the people in your life. It's really beautiful, and not everybody can do it. It takes a very strong person to be able to transmute energies. This is also a card of patience. It takes time. It takes sustenance, or not sustenance, sustained effort and time. And so beautifully clarified by the Ace of Cups. This is what I've been waiting to see for you in this reading. Where is that feeling? Where is that emotion? Here it is. This beautiful gift from Spirit. Aces always bring new from Spirit. It's so beautiful. It's lovely. It's like a brand new beginning. And it's inside of this like beautiful shape that reminds me of the Merkaba. Right? The Merkaba shape is a constantly, it's the light vehicle. It's the rotating vehicle that surrounds all of us, that allows us to jump from dimension to dimension to dimension. With every step we take, with every decision, we propel ourselves into a different timeline. And so Spirit brings you this cup of love, and I feel like you're ready to receive it, like your hands are ready. Your hands are free to receive. And it's really beautiful. This feels very ethereal. It feels very spiritual for you, Capricorn. And get a clarifier. Daughter of Wands, Page of Wands. Do you see all the fireworks happening here? It's almost like this energy from Spirit filled you up, and then it just opened up this world of possibility within you where things are active and full of light and full of surprises and curiosity. Page of Wands is, you know, the student looking to learn and grow. Might not have all the answers, but really is curious about the world. It's almost like in your present energy, something has been birthed that it takes you a little bit off the beaten path, but it feels invigorating. For your future potential, I mean, this is my favorite card in any tarot deck, the Empress. So now, we started with this tree, and we're finishing with this tree. Do you see what I mean by, thank you, Spirit. It's like Spirit helps to give the channeling, right, the messages. Spirit gives it depth here. Spirit gave this tree depth, complexity. It's not just one flat plane. It contains multitudes, is what Spirit just said. It contains multitudes. And now we can see what lies underneath this anatomical heart, the heart chakra opening for you. It's so beautiful. The Empress is the power of all four queens of the tarot. She's the divine feminine master attractor. But, okay, remember I was debating self-sabotage or sacrifice? It's clarified by the Eight of Swords. Self-sabotage. Here we go again. Here's this lightning bug, right? He's just flipped over. He's not dead. He's just flipped over. His light is still there. But there's this like intimidation tactics, and they're all in your mind. Because now I hear Mariah Carey singing, "Baby, It's All in Your Mind." That was from her first album. Baby, it's all in your mind. That's what the Eight of Swords is all about. Analysis, paralysis, and anxiety. Don't stop yourself before you start. You're on a roll in the present energy. You're on a roll. Don't stop yourself before you start. Don't quit before the miracle. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Let's get a card of advice from Spirit. Thank you. Ten of Swords. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. This is a really brutal card. I don't think I'm going to show it again, but Ten of Swords represents like massive disappointment, like being leveled, like you want to tell me, yeah, there's a reason that the tree was flattened in the first place. There's a reason. And the things that I had to focus on, I had to focus on. Where was your time for love? The Ten of Swords signifies to me that the worst is over. And Spirit is saying the epiphany will come. The 10 goes back to the Ace. Ace of Swords is epiphany, breakthrough, revelation. That is coming. It is coming for you. We're going to read from the book, Autumn, the culmination, the broad view, generosity. In alchemical terms, autumn is the denouement of Earth's grand narrative. It is the symbol of culmination, harvesting, and resolution. The story of our year finds closure, and we begin to look toward the horizons of the next one. It is likely this card will appear as an indicator of efforts culminating, of hard work paying off, of fruit hanging low for the taking. Gratitude and generosity are the spirit of the season, so share the wealth of your fortune. Looking back, you realize many hands and hearts have helped you along the way. Holding tight to thank you, Spirit. Scrooge McDuck, right? I love how Spirit works. Holding tight to your bounty won't do you any good. The alchemist shares their wisdom and wealth. They offer their boons back to the world as part of the ongoing cycle. Thank you, Spirit. Be like an autumnal tree. Come to fruition and then release. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you, Spirit. That's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.